TrustBridge Hospice resale shops offer designer fashions for you and your home at a fraction of retail prices. Visit us at our 3 locations, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Juno Beach. All donations are tax deductible.
Life often presents unexpected challenges. Chris Norton knows it's how you handle those challenges that makes the difference. At CFG Wealth Management, we've been through many challenging times. Let us help guide you towards your success.
Hi, I'm Ann Gerwig, and I'm here with Chris Norton in his home in Wellington. It's very nice to meet you, and thank you for being here at your home.
Yeah, thank you for being here too. It's an honor.
Great. I was surprised to find out that you were here and looked a little bit about your story, so I do have some questions for you today. Where were you born?
I was born in Des Moines, Iowa.
Iowa, okay. Farm country, right?
It is, yep.
Okay. And what got you into football instead of other sports?
Well, I love all sports, but growing up, my dad always had the Iowa Hawkeyes football game on. They went to the University of Iowa, so I watched him cheer for them, and then just naturally just picked up the football. And I really loved all sports though, but football was just a passion of mine. I loved the physicality of it, and it was just something that you could be relentless on the field, where other sports I had to kind of control any kind of anger or physicality that might take place on the court.
I understand, having had a high school football player, it is definitely a different sport. If you could tell me just a little bit of what was going through your head initially when the accident actually happened.
Yeah, so I was just running down the field to make a tackle on the kickoff, mistimed my jump just by a split second, and my head collided right with his legs. In an instant, I lost all feeling and movement from my neck down, and as I'm lying there face down motionless, I'm calm and collected. I'm thinking, okay, my feeling, my movement, it'll come back. I just give it a moment. Well, moments, minutes pass by. I'm still unable to move. I have athletic trainers, the EMTs all surrounding me, and I'm still calm because I'm thinking, you know what? Bad things don't happen to people like me. For some reason, I thought I was immune to adversity and life-altering situations. It happens to other people that you maybe read about in the newspaper or you watch on television, or maybe it's someone on the show, but there's no way something bad can happen to me. And when they called in for a helicopter to fly me out to have emergency surgery, that's when I knew, okay, this is bad.
And now I'm going to take you to a whole different place in your brain. What was going through your head when you were trying to find the motivation to learn to walk again? What were your thoughts at that process? This has already happened, you've had the surgery, and now you've decided you're going to walk again. What was in your head at that moment?
Well, it was really tough because I was delivered the news I had a 3% chance to ever move or feel below the neck. And that's not a 3% chance to walk, it's a 3% chance to move or to feel, to scratch an itch on your face, to feed yourself. And it was really hard taking in news like that. But something inside of me just rejected it. And I just said, no way, not me. I'm not gonna be part of the 97% who don't recover from this. I will do whatever it takes to be part of that 3%. And so I just had this drive and this fire in me that I'm gonna take care of my future. And I knew that if I took care of today, the future will take care of itself. And so I just kept focusing on just one session at a time. This physical therapy, I'm going to maximize, I'm gonna do everything in my power. And that empowered me to keep going. It's just taking control of what I could control. There's plenty of nights and moments where I felt out of control. I had no say over my life and what was going to happen, but I tried to, as best I could, push that to the side, focus on just one thing at a time. I had a great support system around me. I had my faith in God, and that gave me hope and belief in a better tomorrow, and that He could take this pain that I'm going through and use it for a purpose. And I didn't know what that purpose was. I begged for those answers, but I knew that's what faith is all about. It's trusting in something that you can't really see or make sense of. And so I just kept going and kept working, and thankfully I saw some progress along the way.
You are motivational and you're an inspiring person to be around and to hear speak. But what is your number one message that you're trying to get across when you speak to groups?
Yeah, my biggest thing is that no matter what happens in life, the adversity, the setbacks, you are capable of overcoming it. Like, you can take control of your life, and no matter how different it may look from the one that you dreamed of or you thought how it's going to look or go, like, you can change your future. And just taking it one step again at a time, of knowing that your future will take care of itself when you take care of today. And so I just want to give people hope and perspective on life adversity, and that we all face it. We're going to have to embrace it, learn from it, and pivot and take those steps to move forward. And so I just hope people, I know people feel rejuvenated, they feel hopeful, and that they can overcome the challenges that they're facing.
Can you tell me about the Chris Norton Foundation, and when did you start it, and what is the goal of that foundation?
Yeah, we want to improve the quality of life for people with spinal cord injuries and really all neurological disorders. And so some of the ways that we do that is through grants for rehab and hospital systems, wellness facilities, to get the best and latest technology into those places so that the physical and occupational therapists and the techs have access to this technology so they can administer to whoever will come through their doors, and try to maximize the number of people that can gain access to the best technology. Because through my journey, I realized that not all rehab facilities and locations are created equal. There's a lot of advanced technology that's very expensive that most places can't afford. And that advanced technology can really make or break your recovery. And so I know it's important, and that's why we want to provide the funding for places that might not be able to afford it. And then we also have a wheelchair camp for kids and their families. And this camp is completely free for the entire family to go to, thanks to our donors and sponsors. And so we get roughly like 25 kids and siblings, parents, all coming to camp. In fact, someone from Wellington actually comes to this camp. They actually fly to Rochester, Minnesota, where the camp is currently held. And we just have a week long of fun, zip lining, horseback riding, laser tag, all these sports and games and activities and stuff that kids thought they would never experience in their life. Because I know what it's like when you're injured and you have a disability, you think the fun's over. There's nothing that you can do, but there is a lot you can do. We want to open their eyes and help them see the possibilities, and just empower them and take that confidence that we see them experience in camp and carry that through the rest of their lives. So it's a really special week, and one of our hopes and goals is actually to have multiple camp locations, and it's my hope and dream to get one, here in Florida, so we can get more kids from the South to be able to come to camp, because we've seen the transformations that take place while at camp.
That's really exciting. I'm going to bring it around to your personal life right now. Can you tell me about Emily? Can you tell me how you met your wife?
Mm-hmm. So Emily and I actually met online. We clicked right away, and it was something where I have to meet this girl in person. She was moving into college one weekend. I had a buddy who also went to that same school, and so I instantly called him up, hey, can I please come visit you this weekend? There's someone I want to meet. And so I got to go there, meet her. I think my jaw was dropped down to the floor as I'm trying to keep it together when I saw her acting like I'd been there before, but she was way out of my league. Or some people say I outkicked my coverage for her. She was just an incredible person. She's beautiful on the inside and out. And it was something really special about Emily was that she took on, my goal and dream to walk across my college graduation stage. So we met in college, and that was my big goal, is walk across the stage. And she really helped become my toughest trainer, pushed me to take, one more step, do one more walk. And after a while, I walked better with her than any of my physical therapists. She helped me accomplish my first big goal of walking across the stage, and then eventually we set our goal to walk 7 yards down the aisle of our wedding, which 7 yards marks the 7 years since my injury anniversary. It's also the name of our documentary, 7 Yards, and also our book as well. So she helped me accomplish that goal. So she is a go-getter, and then she also has a heart and passion for children, and so she really encouraged us to become foster adoptive parents.
And that's my next question. How did you decide to foster and adopt? Have you adopted all 7 children already?
We've adopted 6 children so far. So first it was Whitley. She came to us 17 years old. And she was only 6 and 7 years younger than Emily and I. Emily had mentored her for years. They had a really close connection, and when she needed a place to go is when we first got our foster care license. So we welcomed her and helped her graduate high school, and then eventually we got a sibling placement of 4 girls. There's no way we're going to split these 4 girls up. Came to our home again. You fall in love with Whitley. We fell in love with these 4 girls, and they knew that they belonged with us forever. And so we made it official. We adopted all 5 of the girls within a span of like 2 months, right after marriage. And then a few years after that, we began fostering, welcoming a little boy named Keandre. And we had Keandre for a little over a year, and we adopted him this past June 30th, making our total to 6 kids. We have an age spread of 22, actually 23 today. We had a birthday today.
Wow, today.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, right? And so 23, 12, 11, 8, 6, and 3 is the age spread. And then we also are fostering a little boy right now, currently, and he's about a 1.5 old. So we have 7 kids, 6 currently living in the household. Our oldest, Whitley, lives back where she grew up and where Emily's hometown is of Muscatine, Iowa.
Very cool to have a happy birthday Whitley moment in our time together. Okay, so what is the household like with 7 children living at home with you right now?
I mean, right now this is as quiet as it's ever going to get in our house. They're at school, and I think my youngest and Emily, they're shopping right now. They get out of the house, so it is quiet, but it's chaotic, it's fun. It's just never a dull moment, never really a quiet moment, but that's the way we like it, honestly. I'd rather have life just loud and full and busy, and then, quiet. And it's just amazing the blessings that they have, given us. We went into it thinking, we're gonna bless these kids, but they blessed us tenfold, and we're just so grateful to have them, and to also raise them in such a great community like Wellington.
And that's the next thing. How did you find Wellington? What drew you here? And hopefully you love it here, and you could tell me something you love about Wellington.
We absolutely do love it here, and we plan on staying here for as long as we can. But first, my training is what took me to Florida. It actually took me to Port St. Lucie, Florida, where there's a gym there that I worked out of. And then after spending some years there, looking for kind of a spot to raise a family, and we heard about Wellington and what all it has to offer, the school districts. It's a safe community, and there's plenty to do, and there's close to everything that we'd ever want. For me, the airport as well. I fly as a motivational speaker, so I'm traveling constantly. But it just felt right. We also had family close by. Emily's sister moved to Wellington and just raved about it. And now that we've been living here for the last couple of years, we see why. We really have enjoyed it. We live in a great community, great neighbors, and we're just very grateful we found such an amazing gem like this in South Florida.
I love to hear that. And I'm so glad your family's happy here. And that is something that draws most people to Wellington. Is a great place to raise a family. So I'm glad you're experiencing that joy too. But thinking about your Netflix documentary, 7 Yards, is there something that you think should have been added to that documentary that was left out, or something that was put in that you think should have been left out? Like if you were to look back at it now, what would you do differently?
Well, I know we shot so much footage. We could have done like a 10-series docuseries on my story is how much footage we really had. So we had to keep cutting down and down. And we had at one point a really great, like 2 hours worth of footage that, ultimately we knew for viewers and to get on like a major streaming platform that it should probably be around the 90-minute mark. So we had to make some really difficult decisions to cut it down to 90 minutes. So just some of the things that we did cut out was really kind of the growth of the foundation and kind of how that got started and kind of where it's going, as well as a little bit about my motivational speaking. So kind of more of those like kind of career aspirations and those kind of things that give me purpose in life and really fire me up, which, when watching it, I made that same decision that those things probably could go, but I love the film and really happy with how it turned out. I thought they did an incredible job, and thankfully I've lived I feel like a very full life, and it's good to have difficult decisions when cutting out things out of it. And here's my dog Ivory making a impromptu
Yes, and she's beautiful.
visit.
Okay, Ivy, come over here, baby. There you go.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add?
There's nothing I can think of right now to add, but I'm just, again, I love being here, and I'm not just saying it because you are here in the house, but we really do love it here, and we're very thankful. And
I'm going to ask you one more thing that's not on the list.
Okay.
Do you have a life's verse? Is there a verse that I know that you're a person of faith, that you're involved in your church, Christ Fellowship. Is there one verse? I'm going to share mine with you.
Sure.
Mine is Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. So, and that works out really good when I think about governing and being involved in difficult government situations. It's not my job to fix it. All I have to do is act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. And walking humbly is sometimes a hard thing to do when you're raised up in a community. So is there something you've held on to that you want to share as you've come through this journey?
Yeah, one thing that jumps out at me is Joshua 1:9. I'm not going to say the words perfectly, but just be strong and courageous, and just know that God's with you no matter what you go through. And that was something that I actually wrote on my basketball shoes my senior year of high school. And then it was something too that I thought about and had on my wall as well in the hospital room. That helped give me strength and courage to know that I'm not alone. And that was really impactful for me as I had to get through some long sleepless nights at times.
And fear is really debilitating on its own. Aside from any other injuries in life, fear can really be debilitating. So thank you so much. I knew you were going to have something good with that one, and it's been wonderful to meet you, and I can't wait to meet the rest of the family.
Yeah, thank you.